Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Shauki Arif bin Shafrizal. I am from DIA 2A, and today my group's members and I would like to present our group presentation about elasticity. Okay, elasticity is a measure of the responsiveness of any variable quantity demanded and supplied to a change in one determinant factor's price or income. Most commonly use elasticity. Okay, there are four types of elasticity. First, price elasticity of demand. Second, income elasticity of demand. Third, cross price elasticity of demand. And last, price elasticity of supply. I will explain about price elasticity of demand. Price elasticity of demand is defined as the degree of responsiveness of quantity demanded to change in price. The formula, as you can see, is a percent change in quantity demanded divided to percent change in price. This is a formula for price elasticity of demand. Okay, before I go to the next presentation, I would like to tell you there are five types of price elasticity of demand. First, perfectly elastic demand. Second is perfectly inelastic demand. Third, relatively elastic demand. Fourth, relatively inelastic demand. And lastly, unitary elastic demand. So I will explain to you one by one of this type of price elasticity. Okay, first, perfectly inelastic is a condition which the quantity demanded does not change as a price change, shown by a vertical straight line DD curve. No matter what happened to price, quantity demanded remain the same. This is an example for perfectly inelastic demand. That is a sugar. So we'll go to the next. Number two, that is perfectly elastic. Perfectly elastic is a condition in which a small percentage of a change in price leads to an infinite percentage of changes in the quantity of demand. As you can see on the graph, horizontal straight line DD curve increase in price will lead to an infinite change in the quantity demanded. Number three is unitary elasticity of demanded. And unitary elasticity of demanded is a condition with percentage change in price equals to percentage changes in quantity demanded. Change in price will bring about proportionate change in quantity demanded. The curve is rectangular hyperbola as you can see on the graph. At any point on the curve, elasticity is always equal to 1. This is an example for elasticity for unitary of elasticity. Okay, there are for any gadgets, any electronics like smartphones, smart TV, or digital cameras. Okay, so next, number four is elastic. Elastic is a small percentage of change in the price of a good will lead to a larger percentage of change in quantity demanded. As you can see, okay, DD is elastic when change in price will bring more change amount demanded. Okay, this is an example for elastic where the little bit changes of the price will lead to the larger quantity of demanded. Okay, lastly, inelastic. A large percentage of change in the price of a good will only affect a small percentage of change in the quantity demanded. As you can see on the graph, DD is elastic when change in the price will bring less than change in quantity demanded. Okay, when you see The price from the P2 for the P1, there are lots of changes of the price, but the changes for quantity demanded, they are only bring less. Okay, so the example for inelastic is a petrol. Okay, that's all from me. Let's listen to my next friend. Thank you for attention.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Abdul Aziz Alhadi bin Masami. I'm from class A to A. Study at College Professional Mara Padang Menawar. I will explain about income elasticity of demand. Definition of income elasticity of demand is measurement of how much the quantity demanded of could respond to a change in a compute as the percentage change in quantity demanded divided by the percentage change in income. Formula of income elasticity of demand is E1 equal to percentage change in quantity demanded divided by percentage change in income. Q is quantity demanded and I is quantity income. Types of income elasticity. First one is positive income elasticity and the second one is negative income elasticity and the third one is zero income elasticity. Positive income elasticity is as income rise, demand of good will increase. And the second one is there are positive movement, income and demand for the good. And the last one, good which has positive income is a normal good. The second one is demand income elasticity. First, demand decrease as income rises or vice versa. The second one is the value is negative because an increase income leads to a fall in demand. Example of goods inferior goods like salted fish. Zero income elasticity is when income increases, the amount demanded will remain the same. And the last one, a change in income will bring about a constant demand for goods like basic necessity like salt and sugar.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ashraf Nabi Ahmad Zaidi from DI A to A. Okay, today I want to present about one of a type of elasticity which is cross price elasticity of demand. What definition? What is actually cross price elasticity of demand? Cross price elasticity of demand is the degree of responsiveness of demand for one good to change in price of the product. It means the degree of responsiveness of the demand for good A to the change in the price of other product. For your information, it also always measured in the percentage terms. Without wasting any time, I want to proceed to the next slide, which is formula for calculate cross price elasticity of demand. As you can see on the slide, we use percentage change in demand for good A divided by percentage change in the price of good B. We also use a formula which is the change of quantity of good B divided by the change of price of good A. We times by the total of price of good A1 plus price of good A2. We divide by the total of quantity of good B plus quantity of good B1 plus quantity of good B2. Next, there are three types of cross price elasticity of demand. First, positive cross elasticity. When goods are substitute of each other, then cross elasticity of demand is positive. The example of positive cross elasticity is pizza and burgers are substitute because when the price of pizza increase, demand of pizza also decrease, but the quantity burgers will increase. Second, negative cross elasticity. An increase in the price of good A leads to a fall in the amount demands of good B. For example, an increase in the price of Preto will lead to a fall in demand forecast. This is an example of complementary goods. And the last one is zero cross the zero cross elasticity. An increase in the price of good A will not affect in the demand for good B. The goods are not interrelated in any way. For example, if the price of flour increase, the amount demand of tea will remain the same. That's all from me for today. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Hilmi bin Yaakob from class DIA 2A. So today I'm going to continue my assignment group presentation on price elasticity of supply. So what is price elasticity of supply? You can define it as the percentage change in quantity supply associated with a percentage change in price. So it means price elasticity of supply measures the responsiveness to the supply of a good or service after a change in its market price. So for example, in our economic basic theory, the supply of a good will increase when its price decrease or rise, but the supply of a good will decrease when its price decrease. So the formula that we will use in this topic is price elasticity of supply is equal to percent change in quantity supply divided by percent change in price. So the next slide. So elastic and inelastic supply curve. So there are four type of curve in this topic. So the first one is elastic supply, which means P is equal to 1. What is P? P is price elasticity supply is greater than 1. So in our textbook we use ES only. So it means change in demand can be met without rise in price. So the second one is inelastic supply, which means is less than 1. So supply relatively unresponsible to a change in demand. So what is unit elastic? Unit elastic is mean P is equal to 1. So notes given here is quantity supply is equal to the price. So when price is equal to 1 happen, it will be between elastic and inelastic supply curve. So the other two supply curve is perfectly elastic and perfectly inelastic supply curve. So perfectly elastic supply is mean P is equal to infinity. So an increase in demand can be met out without any change in price. So if you can see in the picture, the line of the supply is horizontal. So the next one is perfectly inelastic supply, which means P is equal to 0. So supply is fit and cannot respond to a change in demand. So you can see the demand line on the picture is vertical. To the next slide. So what factor if affect the elastic of supply? So they are given here four factors. The first one is spare production capacity, means that supplier has plenty of spare capacity to increase output. The second one is stock of finished product and component. So they have high stock level are available to meet the rising demand. The third one is the age and cost of factors, substitution or mobility. So resource can be reallocated easily. So the last factor is time period and production speed. So short production time frame to get product to the market. So that's all from me and my all group members. Thank you for watching.